The shadow in the lens, why I finally stopped building someone else's dream. It started with a sound I'll never forget, the metallic click of my Leica lens being forced onto a mount it wasn't designed for. I stood in the doorway of the garage-turned studio, my heart sinking. Ryan was there, leaning over my equipment with a careless confidence that usually precedes a disaster. He was trying to force a high-end cine lens onto a cheap adapter while Lauren, my sister, watched from a stool, scrolling through her phone. "Ryan, stop," I said, my voice steady but tight. "That's a $4,000 piece of glass. You're going to strip the mount." He didn't even look up. He just smirked, that half grin that always made me feel like I was being the difficult one. "Relax, Ava. I saw a tutorial. It's fine. We're just trying to get a cinematic look for the new intro." I looked at Lauren, expecting her to intervene. Instead, she sighed, a long, exaggerated sound of annoyance. "Seriously, Ava? We're finally getting some momentum on the brand, and you're worried about a piece of metal? We're family. It's all for the same goal, right?" That was the lie we had lived in for 2 years. The same goal. You see, for most of my 20s, I was the ghost in the machine. While Lauren and Ryan were the faces of the Modern Nest, their lifestyle and home decor brand, I was the one who built the foundation. I wasn't just the photographer. I was the editor. I was the lighting technician. I was the person who stayed up until 3 a.m. color grading footage so Lauren's kitchen looked like a dream in the morning light. I had invested every cent of my freelance savings into the gear they were now using as toys. In the beginning, it felt like a partnership. I lived in their guest suite, and in exchange, I gave them my life's work. I thought we were building a legacy. I didn't realize I was just providing the scaffolding for their ego. The tension reached a breaking point on a Tuesday. I had a client meeting, a real, paying gig that could have moved me out of their house and into my own studio. I had left a note on the camera rig, "Do not move." Calibrated for client work. When I returned, the rig was gone. I found them in the backyard, filming a day in the life vlog. My camera was sitting in the grass. Not on a tripod. In the grass. Near a running sprinkler. "What are you doing?" I whispered, the shock making my voice go thin. Ryan looked over, unbothered. The lighting was better out here. We needed a quick shot of the dog. "I had a client coming in an hour," I said, picking up the camera, my hands shaking as I wiped a stray drop of water off the sensor housing. "I told you not to touch this." Lauren walked over, her face hardening. This was her manager voice. "Ava, we need to talk about your attitude. You're becoming very territorial. It's making Ryan uncomfortable to work in his own home." "His home? This is my equipment, Lauren. I bought this with the money from the Hilton campaign. I pay for the software licenses. I manage the cloud storage." Lauren stepped closer, her voice dropping to a cold, sharp whisper. "And we provide the roof over your head. We provide the platform that lets you practice your little hobby. Honestly, Ava, look at the analytics. People come for us. They come for the brand. You've done a great job helping, but don't get it twisted, you're not exactly irreplaceable." The world went silent. It wasn't a roar, it was the sound of a vacuum. Every late night, every free edit, every favor I had done out of love was sucked out of the room, leaving nothing but cold, hard reality. I didn't yell. I didn't even cry. I just looked at my sister, really looked at her, and realized she believed it. She truly believed I was just a disposable tool. "You're right," I said quietly. "I'm not. I spent the next 48 hours in a state of quiet execution. I didn't move my things immediately. I waited until they went to a creators retreat in the city, an event they were invited to because of the portfolio I had built for them. The moment their car pulled out of the driveway, I went to work. I didn't just pack bags. I performed a digital and physical surgery. First, I packed every light, every cable, every lens, and every body. I even took the acoustic foam panels I had glued to the walls with my own money. Then, the digital part, this was what would hurt the most. All the Modern Nest project files were on my RAID servers. All the Adobe licenses were in my name. I moved every single file to an encrypted drive and wiped the local machines. Finally, the legal side. I had quietly trademarked the visual style and specific presets I used under my own LLC a year ago as a just-in-case measure. By 6 p.m., the garage was just a garage again. It was a cold, empty room with nothing but a few dusty power strips and the echoes of their entitlement. I left one thing on the kitchen counter, my key to the house and a printed invoice for the unauthorized use of professional equipment over the last 6 months. I didn't expect them to pay it. It was a statement of value. I moved into a tiny, one-bedroom loft. It was half the size of their guest suite, but every inch of it belonged to me. For the first week, my phone was a war zone. Lauren texted at 10:14 a.m., "Where is the Sony? Ryan has a shoot at noon." By 11:30 a.m., she was frantic, "The cloud login isn't working. Ava, stop being petty and send the password." Then Ryan chimed in, "You're ruining our business. We have a brand deal due tomorrow. You can't just take the footage." I replied with one message, BCCing my lawyer. "All equipment and intellectual property are the property of Ava Vance Media LLC. Access to archived footage is available at a standard licensing rate of $250 per hour. Please direct all further inquiries to my legal representative." Watching The Modern Nest over the next few months was like watching a beautiful building slowly crumble into the sea. Their first video without me was shaky, poorly lit, and the audio had a hollow hiss. Their audience noticed immediately. The comments were brutal. "What happened to the quality?" and "Where is Ava? She was the soul of this channel." They tried to hire a cheap editor from a freelance site. The result was a disjointed mess that broke their contract with a major kitchenware brand. The brand pulled out, citing a drop in production standards. Meanwhile, I was finally breathing. Without the weight of their demands, my own creative energy exploded. I started a small series on TikTok called The Setup, where I broke down the technical side of high-end content creation. One of the brands that had dropped them reached out to me directly. "We realized you were the one who gave the Nest its identity," their marketing director said. "Would you be interested in a solo contract?" 6 months later, I was sitting in a high-end cafe in Soho. My phone buzzed. The Modern Nest had posted a photo of Lauren and Ryan looking tired on their porch. The caption read, "Taking a break to refocus. We'll be back soon." They wouldn't be back. Not like before. Because they had built their world on the shoulders of someone they refused to see. And once those shoulders moved, the world had nowhere to go but down. A client arrived and looked at my new portfolio, filled with my own light and my own name. "You have a unique style, Ava," he said. "It's like you can see things others miss." I smiled. "I just learned the value of a clear perspective," I said. "And I learned that irreplaceable isn't something people tell you. It's something you prove by leaving." As I opened my laptop, I realized I wasn't the ghost in the machine anymore. I was the machine. And the light was exactly where it was supposed to be, on me.